Good morning, guys. This is Rusty 78609, Central Texas, USA, November the 21st, 2016. And it's a beautiful morning. It really is. It's about 10:37 a.m. Central Standard Time. Temperature right now in Central Texas is about 64 top down degrees, which is perfect. And this is the time of the year that you would want to be in Central Texas, USA, because the weather in November and December is great. January can be a little cool, February can be a little cool, and then it's back to the good weather. So that has got me in a quandary about going on my trip next week. Oh, this road here, I don't know, this is a county road, goes from my place over to a little town called Burnet, B-U-R-N-E-T, and it's just a back road I go on because it's windy and pretty. But anyway, the dilemma for me now is the weather's perfect in Central Texas for the next probably close to 2 months. And I'm contemplating taking a little trip out to Quartzsite, and I looked at the weather forecast for Deming, New Mexico. That's one of my spots I'd have to spend the night. And they have two places there. One is it's called Rockhound State Park, and just I think south of Deming. But they've only got about 8 camping sites, and they're always full, or it's hit and miss. Then there's one north of Deming, New Mexico, going towards Silver City, a state park called City of Rocks, and they've got about 46 campsites. Not all of those are tent sites, but they have a lot of them. And so that's probably where I'd end up having to stay. And the temperature weather forecast for next Tuesday night, the night I might be there, is a high of 51 and a low of 23. And I must tell you, and these guys are parked right as the road. This is the county working department, okay? This is the county. Way to go. Very safe. Very safe. Come around a curve and there's nothing. Yep, this is the county workforce here, and they don't care if I got run into or not. But anyway, back to the weather forecast. For Deming, that's a little cool for me. You get into the low 20s and you're sleeping in a car, that's not bad. It's when you get up in the morning and you get out to take a walk or stretch and you stay in that position because you're frozen. But it's a funny thing about the weather in New Mexico, at least to me, it may be true everywhere there's really low humidity. It can be pretty cool, and it doesn't seem that way. It's just on the other end, it can be pretty warm, and because of the low humidity, it doesn't seem like it's as hot. But anyway, we'll see. It's right now I'd give it 50-50 whether I'm going to go or not. I want to. Do I need to? No. Do I have to? No. Just a want. Just want to. Just wanted to take a trip, go to Quartzsite. There's a lot of people out there that haven't seen me. I feel guilty about that. It's a pretty little drive through here. You have to be careful watch for the county workers, though. Apparently. Just standing there in the road, no safety cones, nobody, no flag man, no nothing, just parked there having a cup of coffee. Starting the day. Here comes the county sheriff. He'll probably go down there and join them. And they'll have a real bull session. But anyway, the trip's on. So the first night, if I go Monday night next week, the 28th, I would spend at Balmorhea State Park. Tuesday night would be somewhere near Deming, New Mexico, either Rockhound State Park or City of Rocks, and then from there go over into Arizona. There's some Bureau of Land Management land just north of Tucson, Arizona, that's free camping. I mean, there's nothing. There's no water, no toilets, no nothing. You just pull out and camp. But it's up in the elevation a little bit. I believe it's about 3,500 feet. And it may be a little cool there too. The weather in Quartzsite looks like it'd be okay. I would arrive there on day 4. Is that right? Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. I'd arrive there on Thursday, about noon probably. And the weather in Quartzsite looks okay. It's going to be in the 60s, upper 30s. December is their coldest month. January is slightly warmer, and then February it moves up a little bit. But I would like to go out that way because it makes a good start to a long trip, even though it's 1,100 miles to Quartzsite. I've often wanted to go again up that Pacific Coast Highway 1 into Oregon and Washington, because it is a beautiful highway and a beautiful drive. But to get started from Texas is the hardest part. So what I might do is go from Texas in March or April, before it starts to get too warm, out into the Quartzsite area, and then move up Lake Havasu and catch some of the national parks on the way up north, make a big loop, come across into Idaho. Actually, what I'd like to do too is go up to Grand Canyon again, because you can camp free in the national forest near Flagstaff on the way to Grand Canyon. And if I could get there in, say, May, the latter part of May, would be a good time because the schools wouldn't be out yet. And then I could move on up north. But we'll see, because that would be, if I did that journey, or if I started on a journey like that for me could end up being 3 or 4 months. Because once I get in the routine, like the trip I went on 3 years ago, I stayed on the road 28 days in the Prius. I don't even know why I came back. I guess I just got bored. But once you're in the routine, the daily routine, and you're getting your clothes washed and your hygiene's okay, that's it. You just do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and that's it. Next thing, of course, you're seeing beautiful scenery all the time. The climate's changing. The beautiful part of the trip for me is just seeing the variations in the environment. The mountains, deserts, rivers, the whole thing, forests. I'm not too keen on forests. There's a real interesting thing about forests. It'll say a national forest. Now you get around, say, Santa Fe, New Mexico, and get out in the forest there, you're in the forest. I mean, you're in a densely treed forest. But Gila National Forest near Silver City, New Mexico, and Lincoln National Forest north of Alamogordo, and then it goes on up further north. But those are forests, but they're not dense forests. The trees are sparse. And the same way around Taos, New Mexico, Angel Fire, Red River, there are forests there that you can go disperse camping for free. The upside is they're not so dense that you get claustrophobia, and I don't mind those a bit. That's what. But national forests are what they are. You have to be careful. The wild animals don't know who you are, and they're very damn curious about it. And the ones I've only seen black bear in the wild, and that was at Eagle's Nest near Angel Fire, Red River area. There's a lake there and a state park, and I stayed there for a couple of weeks. And I used to walk around the lake and then go up into the forest on the other side. There was a mountain. And just walk. Just beautiful weather. And I did see 2 black bear off at a distance. It was probably close to a half a mile. They didn't pay any attention to me whatsoever. But you get up into Colorado, Idaho, Montana, you run into those ones you don't want to run into, and those are called grizzlies. And of course, as long as you're not going to bother them, they're not going to bother you. But if you accidentally win the lottery and get between the mama and a baby, you could be dead. And sometimes they'll just follow you out of curiosity. I've never known of any following me. And another little animal you need to watch out for, at least I do, mountain lions. Because they're stealthy little boogers. We have those in Texas, not in my area. There might be a very, very, very few. But out in West Texas, around Big Bend, they have them. And in New Mexico, too. You go to national or state parks, national parks in New Mexico, they've got a few of those little boogers out there. They'll hurt you. If they almost have to be starving, because we're not on their menu. But of course, I've seen them out in Big Bend off at a distance. In fact, I saw about 20 of them in a group one day going up to the campground, the basin, coming up that windy road. I came around the turn, and there was cougars, wildcat, what do you want to call them, mountain lions, all over the road. And that's what happens when the females start to come in heat. The guys gather around by the numbers, and that's what I ran into, I was told. It was interesting. That's about it. But so anyway, that's an update on the trip that I'm thinking about taking. And here's something else I've been thinking about. I noticed the introduction to my, the opening of my videos is fairly what you would call standard, as in non-existent. And I watched some other videos yesterday, and they have these exotic beginnings. They have music and things flash and turn, and and all kind of music. And then the guy comes on and does something, and he's got a cute little studio or not, and you can tell it's a production. And will I do that? No. So this is the peak. I mean, this is it. And if you want music, every now and then I'll sing. I found out that if I play music, YouTube's listening. Because I did when I crossed I went to El Paso, or through El Paso, Texas one time, and I was playing I played a Marty Robbins song called, let's see, I can't remember the name, but it was a Marty Robbins song, an old cowboy song. And anyway, YouTube caught it, and I can't monetize that video because of the copyright issues involved. So I just won't fool with that again. But anyway, this is Burnet, Texas. I'm coming in on Highway 29. I'm coming from the west, going east on Highway 29 in Burnet, B-U-R-N-E-T, Texas. Its population about, I'm gonna guess 6,000, probably, close. The biggest thing in this town is high school football. You can be elected mayor if you're quarterback of the high school football team and you have a winning season. immediately after you graduate, you could be elected mayor, or at least city councilman or county commissioner. Whether you could read or write doesn't matter. This little restaurant here on the right called the Highlander, they're open on Thanksgiving. That's where I'm going to meet my boys, I think. I've heard from one. I've got 2 sons and a grandson. And my oldest boy and my grandson, or his son, meet there. And we've done it. This will be our 4th year, which for us is a hell of a tradition. But anyway, this is the big city of Burnet, Texas. I think they've got about, in the whole city here, I guess they've got 10 red lights, maybe, approximately, maybe less. And I'm just out for a little drive. It is a beautiful day, and this is beautiful. I did my washing, and I've got my clothes hung out on my windmill dryer. It fits in the hole in my patio table, and you open it up like an umbrella. It's got all these little wires on it, and you hang your clothes on it, and when the wind blows, it spins a little bit, so the clothes get really dry. And there's nothing fresher than clothes that have been hung out on the clothesline to dry. I know y'all are interested in that pickup in front of me, or wherever. It's called a nitro. I'm scared to look at it because it's nitro. It might go off. This place here on the right is where they sell those little tags and the little microscopic things. I did a video on that stuff, and it was a very popular video. People like that. You know, whether they'll buy them or not, I don't know. They're kind of expensive. But I believe you, man, I have checked out everything. And the best thing for me that I can come up with right now is camping in my Toyota Prius, because the bed is comfortable. As far as peeing at night or anything, that's not a problem. It's got a gallon jug. As far as poo-pooing, I got a bucket with a plastic bag. Works okay. It's not exactly the most comfortable toilet in the world, but it works. It's what you call functional. Okay? And anyway, how long has this thing gone on? Have I talked too much? You talk too much. You worry me to death. You talk too much, you even worry my pets. Remember that song? Somebody does. Here's one you got to remember from the 50s. Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? If your mama says don't chew it, do you swallow it in spite? And it catches on your tonsils and you heave it left and right. Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? You know, that's the kind of stuff that I can remember. It shows you that I have a very simple, uncluttered mind. All right. Now stop right there and let me run into you. Good thinking. That's old Bubba. He got some scold stuck in his cheek. I'm going to run this light. I am. Care of it, hair, lips, and hope. I was going to drive through this. I'll drive through this RV park. See, this is the county RV park. I remember when it was going to be built. I was one of the ones that was instrumental in getting this idea started. Because I was working at the golf course, I was living in an RV out somewhere. And I said, you know, if the city of Burnet had their own RV park, you could tie it in with the golf course, give them a special rate, and people would come here in the winter. And guess what, folks? They do. This is it. This was a blank area owned by the county or the city. And now they're making money off of it because each spot, I believe, is about $400 a month. I hear you. And some of these people live here year round. Well, you can't beat it. $400 a month. Rent in this area for a one bedroom will cost you probably about $650. Two bedrooms, $750. Going to rent a house, $900 to $1,200. Look at this. There's one of those fancy things I saw the other day in New Braunfels. A voltage. Damn. You can buy a house for that. But he's got kids, I can see that. But this little RV park here is in Burnet, Texas. It's a city one. Got a few vacant spots. I believe it's around $400 a month. And I don't know if they meter the electricity or that includes electricity. Let's go this way. I wonder if that old boy is a truck driver. Okay, it's near a railroad track. You see the train passing there? Got a little clubhouse. Probably got a shower and restaurant. This is the little county park. To my left is the fitness center, the YMCA. It's a pretty neat place. Just like every city park, it's rarely used except on the weekends because that's the only time poor people have any time off to use it. And that's the only people come here. Rich folks don't come here. They go to the country club, or Delaware Springs Golf Course. Okay, I'm going to pull up here in the shade and shut this video off. So y'all have been enlightened on November the 21st, 2016. This is Rusty in Burnet, Texas, USA. It's 10:58 now, 65 top down degrees. And with that, see the train passing in the background there? It's about 100 yards from the RV park because it angles off to the left. But having said that, folks, y'all have a great day. I'm going to have a good day. And maybe I'll take a trip. Maybe I won't. Thumbs up. Carpe diem. Adios. Bye-bye. Buy American made when you can. Take deep breaths as often as you think about it. Drink plenty of water. And exercise. Keep your health, folks. Anyway, bye-bye.